my benchmark of our heals and our Condi clears is that I want us to be above the top Ellie, top Tempest for healing. So usually that's Fallen or Zera. And then for Condi clears, I want us to be above top heal Vindy, which will be Hormone or Astrid or such like that. We fall in kind of that between area. It is entirely possible to beat a Tempest and a heal Vindy in heals, Condi clears, but that's a good benchmark, basically. And when I mean by that, I look in their squad HPS versus total, because obviously if you were there for 20 minutes and everyone else is at 60 minutes, your total's not going to be there, but I'll look at the squad heals per second and I'll see, okay, this is where you would be, otherwise. So that's kind of my benchmarks. So I'm sharing my screen right now, and I'm going to make you as my tag. And so basically I try to start off in staff as much as possible, and I auto one, usually on our tag. I try to also have bear as my first pet, but sometimes due to Condi clears it's gonna be turtle. Either way. But basically always have something, someone tab targeted, because otherwise these buttons don't work. So you have to target. I usually throw some stuff here until we actually hit engage. And so 5 is a water field. 4 is, for healing is also a water field, but only when it's triggered because it's a trap. Stars is technically a water field, but you're not actually going to ever use that for water. But yeah. And so when we're about to engage, I'll throw 5 and I'll throw staff 3. Staff 3 is a blast. So you want to blast your water field. And then I immediately go into CA. So I tend to do this. So if you ever watch like some of my videos, you hear click, 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 click. Yeah, it's because I'm doing this over and over again. I'll hit the bear, get that through, and then I'll switch to this, get a field, and then I was playing with a sword. I don't particularly care if you go sword Warhorn or axe Warhorn. Either way, live. So this here, the Frost Spirit, is the resistance. I really just kind of throw it on us. And you can see here, this is slowly building. What builds up Astral Force is your staff things, healing, damaging, which is why it's just easier to keep it on someone. Because this also heals and damages, so you don't have to really pay attention. Yeah, so as you saw in my CA, a lot of spamming. If you do 5, that's 2.5 seconds. This takes a while, but this has no cast time, so you can cast that while this is going, which is really nice. Yeah, a lot of things we do is, everything we do is some sort of heal or some sort of CC. I just went through CA, so CA3 is a daze, and CA2 gives blindness. So if we are in melee, obviously dropping things on us is also dropping it on them. So we actually do quite a bit of CC when we're in melee. Technically, yes, you could throw it in range, but we should probably heal each other first, sort of a thing. Any questions? So this is the build that we're running. So we run Nature Magic, Wellspring, Windborn Notes, and then Invigorating Bond. This is why switching, like, when you have your pet, you press that F2, whatever it is. This one here, if you switch immediately, the barrier goes away, so I usually wait till the barrier is gone or away from the turtle before I switch pets. And then here, skirmishing, we do Trapper's Expertise, Spotter, and then Quick Draw. And then Druid is Druid Clarity, so becoming a CA removes the Condis. We do Glyphs, grant protection to nearby allies, and then we do Grace of the Land for Alacrity, and thus more reason to spam on us because of the Alacrity. You're not wasting anything. I know some people, or in some other guilds, do Celestial Shadow, where it gives stealth and super speed. I've tried that. I'm still a little iffy, just because none of us are ever in sync on our CAs. So the stealth and super speed makes us uneven sometimes. I don't know. Yeah. And then same thing with the elite. I don't care if you go Glyph of Stars or Spirit of Nature. Just be able to land that res, honestly. Like this one here is a second and a half, and the cooldown is 120. Yes, it'll immediately bounce people up, but you have to be able to cast it on them first. I tend to have a little bit more luck with Glyph of the Stars. And Glyph of the Stars when you're in CA, not Glyph of the Stars outside. Because if you're using it when you're not in CA, it clears Condis, but it's not going to res people. And this helps remove Condis too. Anyone else?
Your Frost Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Are you using it kind of like Hollow? So like when we're in like melee range, just drop it on us? Or
Yeah, and sometimes when we are about to turn a corner, I'll kind of drop it there
preemptively?
as we go. Yeah.
Okay.
I basically I throw it and I don't really pay attention to what it's doing. Whatever. But yeah. CA3 is also a blast. So again, if you're just blasting on ourselves, then you're going to get a lot of fields. Bear and turtle. So the reason why, like bear, absolutely, because bear F2 will remove Condis, and then turtle gives protection as well as the barrier. You could use Tiger Aegis, but if it's not like a stab where you have stacks of it, it's just gonna refresh the Aegis if you have a competent firebrand who already should have Aegis on you. So it gets a little bit lost if you have a competent firebrand in your party versus the turtle. Either way, as you're like, wait, where's my turtle? There's your turtle. I'm running here, and then I decide to pop F2. It stays back there. So, and sometimes the pet just stays back there too. So choose wisely, whichever one that you're going to do. I prefer turtle though. I've come back to turtle. I know Morgana and Day are. I compete with them a lot. Oh, you have to build Astral Force. So let me. Yeah, healing, damaging. Hold on, yes. Let me bring up the thingy that. Here's my thingy. Where is it? It's called Astral Force. Where is it? There it is. So, Astral Force is gained through instances of healing and direct damage the player applies, usually from outgoing healing. And the things that can give it is like direct healing, regen, invigorating bond, using various combos in a water field, staff 1, 3, and 2, and 5. Your healing skill, a glyph, protect me. Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, this is why when they try to put me in the tags party, I asked if I could be switched with a Tempest instead, because I do run a little behind, if only because to build up more CA. Whereas if you are directly on tag, yes, suck and fallen. When you're directly on tag, it's a lot harder to build that. So, yeah. And technically time will do. So like on our first engage, more than likely you'll have this at full. I on a like a keep cap or something where we're just like 5 minutes of fighting, my CA fills up real quick. Like I'm usually waiting for the cooldown of this versus the filling of the CA. Rid Speedy. Also, you should name your pets. Name them funny names. Oh yes. What about what? Oh, do Druids struggle with Connie bombs, aka overloaded? Mm, I don't. Because there's a lot of things that we do that. Moxie, don't bite me. That we do the Condi clear. Because everyone's dropping like a light field anyway, so blasting on it will do an area Condi clear. Going into CA removes Condi. Using the bear removes Condi. This in CA removes Condi. This removes Condi. This removes emob Condis on people. So I normally don't, but I don't know how other druids feel. Day, Morgana, Fox. Do you guys feel that you struggle with Condi bombs or?
I don't know if you're asking me. I've never played Druid yet.
Oh, yeah. Glyph alignment is only used in CA because it's for the Condi clear. I mean, this is a 300 range. If we were mobbing, I don't know.
I was AFK for a little bit. Did you talk about the Axe Warhorn? Do you ever go to
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, what's your
I
rotation with
do.
that?
So most of the time I'm in staff anyway, just because using one with the staff is a heal damage, but sometimes I'll switch to that Warhorn or sword axe combo. Both of these do regen. So I'll press those. These two are leaps if you are using a sword, but I'll basically just kind of go in this, press the buttons until I can get back into CA. My cat is doing bad things under the table. Yeah, I'm watching you.
Replenishing.
Okay, so essentially you're trying to just
I could outrun a centaur.
use Call of the Wild and stuff to get your Fury, Might, Swiftness out, and then you're just essentially trying to get back to your staff in CA.
Well, a Warhorn gives you regen. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. Grant nearby allies regen when you use a Warhorn skill. So it's still healing using these.
And it gives you the Might and stuff too, so it's beneficial.
Outrun a centaur.
Huh, that was interesting. Me using the Warhorn on Piper procced her monk glyph relic. And yeah, using this as a blast. I know Hells have talked about like using this to, and then going CA and then you'll blast right after you come out. It doesn't always time out nicely. Like, so if I do this, I have a ton of alack, and then I'm not able to hit that right away. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't always land very nicely. So I don't know where he's getting it. I don't know. But very much use your pets. You don't have to have them on tack. Just avoid combat and then F2, F2, F4, F2, F4. Make sure that they're still alive. Watch this. Make sure you know when the 15 seconds are going to go down, because otherwise you might accidentally do this to yourself into the enemy Zerg. That's not fun.
Is there
Yeah,
a way
so
to prevent your pets from inting?
No.
No, there's no time. Okay.
Well, it avoids combat, but like sometimes, see how my bear is like far away from me?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll like look if I'm doing my turtle.
Come here.
I have to see where they are before I do that F2. Because otherwise, if he's like 1,000 years away from me, and that was a silly one.
Okay.
Yes, they can get pulled and die too. They're like my mini rise.
Do they take priority of boons?
Nope,
Or
they are last of everything.
out of everything? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm. But I'm using it as another button to push, basically. So when I'm doing this, that's heal and protection and a barrier. And then this one is the protection, the vigor, the heal, and the Condi clear. There's no point in keeping, having that pet there doing nothing, but being a soak sponge. Have it do something. It is possible to keep up with the Tempest and the heal Vindies. Very much so. Yeah, if mine is dead, I switch it and I'm like, whatever. Because it's doing nothing when it's dead. Yeah, I like to look at the healing and the cleanse charts so I can see how I'm matching with Fallen, because Fallen's a really good Tempest. Oh yes, please have healing add-on. If you don't have healing add-on. I know, sometimes I'll see me on top and then Fallen just shoots out of nowhere and I'm like, damn it! Right, I wish you didn't have to tab someone, because there'll be times where I'm like, the tab will fall off for me and I'm just like spamming to try to get my tab target back and, stupid. I have to figure out where to, I need another button for that. There we go. Why are you not going off? This one, there. I use Protect Me for me a lot of times, but if we are running to a Zerg that is a bit bigger or more CC heavy, as soon as we hit, I'll use it because it breaks stun for everyone, for 5 people. And sometimes I use it to help fill up my astral force, but for the most part, I'm kind of saving that because you can't heal when you're dead.
Is there any alternatives to running that? Like if you're not worried about stun breaks or the barrier?
Mm, mm. I mean, we used to run this one, Glyph of Unity. I feel like that one's odd, but yeah. I guess.
Just not too many good options or what?
Yeah, I mean, there is muddy terrain technically as a CC 900 range, but eh, eh. Mhm, it is. It is group as well.
Yeah, I was just wondering because, you know, usually you
Get much harder.
rely on the firebrand for the stun breaks, but I mean, having a personal one is not bad at all.
Sometimes I have to stun break my firebrand.
That's very true.
Yeah. I mean, with my druid, I don't really. Oh, I don't really hand res anymore. But if it's my fucking firebrand, I will absolutely go hand res that person. Oh, dodging. You should dodge. I don't, but you can see why I don't, because I'm spamming the F out of my CA, and if I'm doing that and I dodge, I will dodge out of my heals. But you can't heal when you're dead, so if you're finding yourself in sticky situations, please dodge more. That's the number one thing. You can't heal when you're dead or trapped somewhere behind. Yes.
Replenishing.
Dodging is good. Zenik is smiling because he's drunk off his booty. I mean, he could be. He's a lightweight, but... But yeah, basically, we, as druids, I think, really help make that party solid. And our heals and our lack and our condi clears can cover a lot of mistakes, for sure. So you have to be that good anchor to make sure that even if your party sucks, they're not going to suck as much as they could have. Like, if your firebrand's not a Fred, or Fox, or Day, you know, um, the Alack really helps them out. Getting to their buttons faster. So.
Time to do
Oh,
some
look.
real damage.
I feel like Zenix's ears were burning. Hold on. Yes. I am super focused. I don't go this close in my thing, but like everything drops right on the tag. If you are off the tag, that's on you because I'm very busy on tag. So I do move around like this. I don't know why. hmm If they're off tag, don't run back for them. You can like if Wonder Beast over here was off tag, I'll do this. That's as far and that like I'm not gonna do anything else.
In CA, do you really use your 4 or 5 skill at all, or no?
I do 4, but I use these 1, 2, 3 first, and then
Okay.
and then 4 because 4 takes like 2 seconds, so it takes a while. If that's your first button that you press, that's a shit long time. So
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, so it's a water fill too, but like I usually press 3 or 2 first, and then I'm like pressing 1 over and over again, and then that'll go, and it'll be fine because this has no cast time.
And
And
you
you
should do
3.
3 to 2 first, right? So you get the blast,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I usually do 3 first just because I'm blasting whatever. It's a CC thing, but it takes forever and it holds you in place. So sometimes I'll lag behind because I accidentally hit 5, and it's like building up this thing to go whoosh, and I'm like, that's stupid. Got stuck
Oh.
here. Fennec says, why would my ears be burning? I am a chronomane now. Quick draw.
Oh yeah, that applies when you go into Celestial, right?
hmm
Oh, does it?
I don't pay much attention to it, but yeah.
Okay.
Because all I really look at is this. I just look at my bar, so I don't look at anything else.
Yeah, so if that applies, then you can get a couple 3s down. Maybe 3 of them in total, right? To blast.
I
Fuck
could
your
outwit
ass.
a centaur.
That's the basic premise of the class, though. Press buttons. Like,
Yeah, it's different than Firebrand where you have to kind of like hold things because you have only a certain amount of pages. This, nah, you blow everything.
okay. Button pressing is good.
Yes. Yeah.
You won. Okay. It both in and out of CA too, right? Okay.
Yeah. So if you like on a Ruby's site, if you go to General and then Skill Cast and then Druid Support, you could see how the ratio of what buttons we just pressed on here. So like if I look at this, I have did the most invigorating or windborne notes. I had the most lunar impact, which is CA3. I had the most staff 3. Sildo had more staff 5.
Where do you see that?
So you on her Tiddy site, you go to General, Skill Cast, and then Druid Support.
General skill cast. Ah, I see. Okay.
And so this is what I look at after a raid because I want to see what buttons are being pushed.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's a good way to tell.
and Dragon Coil when they were showing me their vids a while back, the main thing was they weren't pushing enough buttons. Drac has gotten a lot better because she pushes her buttons now.
So I mean, that's essentially the class, like you said, which is, I mean, you have to press buttons, and that's why you were saying dodging is DPS loss because you can't press buttons, essentially, right?
Yeah. Oh, Fallen, I'll have you waypoint to me, and I'll take you to Fertile Land. It's on the. You do have. Yeah, you have EOD. Yeah. Because you can only get it. It's okay. Just teleport to friend. It'll be fine. But yeah, you can see here, like, most of these buttons, I am the higher button pusher for
Yeah.
them. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have that on.
Yeah, it's under combat movement, ground targeting, fast with range indicator.
Oh, okay.
I could outrun a centaur.
How do glyphs work? Can you explain the process for it?
What do you mean? How do they work?
Obviously you have to be in CA to use it. Yeah, Glyph of Stars. But how do you res people? Is it like an insta res? Is it?
It is not an instant res. It pulses, and so let me go into CA, and Frid will be my Hey, stay there. You're my dead person. So here, prevent health drain while down and revive them while in target area. And so you cast it there. It is a 1-second cast, but once that casts, it'll still continue on, and then you could continue on with whatever you're doing in CA. It can be tricky because if you leave CA while it's casting, it won't be the star CA, or it may not even cast, like it may break.
Oh, okay.
So it's very finicky. Same thing with this, like it's a 1.5-second cast, and they have to be down. Like, it sounds great, but I don't know. If you can do the spirit, more power to you. I'm not gonna say no. It's a good variety, but which you hope we should all be together. That's not always the case.
True, but I mean, you're not going to be resing someone 1200 off tag, or you shouldn't be. 600 I think is a good range. True, yeah, true.
Or if the tag gets pulled to Narnia, I don't really want to rush into Narnia. I'm going to drop a stars on him.
Yeah. Just makes a huge difference. So that's 6 to 12. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, because I was trying stars out on Wednesday, or not stars, Spirit on Wednesday. I used it. I don't even know if it brought anyone up, but we were still in a fight, and it was still on cooldown. And I was like, this is awful. Like, once we got out of combat, I had to switch. Yeah, I had to switch. I was like, I need stars.
Yeah. Yeah, that's almost not worth it,
Yeah, if someone likes it and wants to use it and is good at it, I'm okay with that. Same thing with the sword. If you can not leap yourself into death, go ahead and use it. But if you want to be safer, use the axe. If you want to be safer, use the stars. Yeah, and I like, if I don't pay attention to this and I get out of CA, I will yeet myself into a Zerg using Staff 3.
Regarding the ultimate, which one's better on like skill lag days?
What do you mean? Oh,
like stars or the spirit? Or do they both just don't go?
Yeah, they both suck on that. Like, for the most part, the reason why I hopped into Druid is because it lags a lot less, or at least it doesn't affect you as much. Sometimes if you aren't able to click into CA, I have to like manually click this button and then that'll work. But yeah. Yeah, and even if IOL or Tempe Glyph picks them up, it's not like it's only a res. It does do stuff as well. So I figure whatever. It's still healing people even if they're alive. It just makes sure they won't drop. And there were some fights. Oh, Sappho, yeah. Ooh. I'm hearing the thunder outside. Still flash flood warning. Anyway, I used this. It's okay. It's been doing it all Friday. Yeah, not too lethal. So I use this to face our party usually, or point it towards our tag as he's running in, so that way he doesn't get immobed, chilled, slowed, things like that. I basically use it more for the Condi clear than the actual the immob itself.
Replenishing. I could outrun a centaur.
Though there are times, like some fights, where I've used it offensively. I've also had to use CA offensively, and then I had to precast stars on engage in order for us to stay alive, and I'm just like, whatever. Usually that doesn't happen, though. Yeah. In the thick of melee, just throw it somewhere. Either you're going to be hitting us or them. It's all good. So. I mean, Healing Spring, and I usually do 5 and the 3, and then CA it's this and this and that. It's just if I'm in CA and I'm doing this, and I'll drop that and blast it, you know. There's not really a big heal thing. It's just very consistent. Like if I was in the tag party and the tag dropped to half health, it will take me a bit to get him back to full. Especially if I don't have CA up. And if I'm in tag party, I never want to go into this. I mean, sometimes I have, but again, either whether it's sword or axe, none of these heal, whereas you have a heal in staff. So it makes me feel like I don't have a lot of options if I'm in the tag party as a healer, even though I usually don't go into the other weapon set anyway, but... I have used this, and if we're out of combat, I'll just use my Warhorn and then switch back into staff as we about to go. Because using this is like pre-stuff, but really I want to hit this and I want to not waste my 15 seconds. So I wait just before the clash or at the clash to pop this. So this is just kind of, for me, filler, so to speak. That's why I hate when we're not quite hitting. We're still like walk around because I don't want to be in CA. Yeah. Yeah, and if we get bait into CA, I immediately like leave CA. Yes, I have the 9 seconds cooldown, but at least I don't have to build my Astral Force from 0. Yeah, because CA is where you want to be. Always. The other stuff is fluff. Fluffy. What usually kills me? When we're fighting Mag in the keep and they single target me to pull me out. Oh, if we get pulled, staff, honestly. Staff and protect me. And healing. The stuff here. I've gotten pulled before. So I'll get pulled and usually I have a protect me up and then I do this. For the most part, that works just fine. In fact, sometimes if I get pulled and I'm in CA, I will leave CA just so I can use Astral Grace. If you are immobed, you will not be able to Astral Grace away.
I could outrun a
So,
centaur.
they changed that. So Condi clear yourself and then Astral Grace away. Ancestral Grace away. Yeah, and if you have a squirrel, that's on them when they die. Not you. Oh, you guys made this so perfect. Yeah. Any other questions? But yeah, use Ruby's site to kind of see where you are, both with that skill cast or the charts under support for healing and Condi cleanse. For healing above the Tempest, and then for Condi clears above the heal Vindies. Like that's where you are. Also, if you play like I play, your hands will hurt. Sucks for you. Rock was like, "Oh my god!" And now I understand why your like stuff and my hands hurt. I was like, "Oh, mine doesn't," because this is what I do. It's good exercising for my job, so. Mm. Yeah. Oh yeah, Seth is an he's Spider George, like. Like he beat Hormone in Hilvindi on Friday, but then Hormone was saying he camped Centaur or something. I don't know.
I could outrun a centaur.
But yeah, Raw wants more of us, so the more of us who play and do good, the better. Though we still need one Fallen and 1 0. Yes. I can feel when Fallen isn't there. Yeah. Yeah, only 2. And our Tempest who
Time to do some real
are
damage.
the two are good. So no complaints from me. To be fair, I feel like KNT's Tempest probably sucked too. I don't know. Yeah, our healers and support, they are like layered nets to catch a lot of mistakes. Obviously, there are times where our BS kind of falls through all those holes and we still lose, but like we have a good what is that word? Cushion? Cushion for error? Yeah.